Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE Fan 0599 here again, and welcome back to WWE Fans TV Recap Show. And today's recap show will be for Minority Report. So, this episode is entitled Mr. Nice Guy. Now, before we get into this episode, of course, I gotta warn you, spoilers are ahead. Because I go in depth with these episodes, so they're going to be spoilers. If you haven't seen this episode, then don't watch this review. But if you have seen the episode, continue on watching. Or if you just don't care about spoilers. So, let's get on with this episode. So what this episode is basically about, it's about, Dash, he's having this vision that this girl is going to be murdered in the back of a nightclub. And they suspect that this guy that writes like these, how to treat, basically how to pick up a woman type books, is the murderer. So, what I think of this week's episode? I really enjoyed it. Just like the first episode, it was really good. I really enjoyed this week's episode of Minority Report. It was really good. So, yeah. So, let's get into my positives. And my positives are the acting with the episode. The acting's actually pretty good with this episode. I thought Dash was really good. Nice, little bit of a nice improvement over last week's episode. He was really good. I thought he did a better job in this episode. He was really good. I really enjoyed him in this episode. He did a pretty good job in this episode. Really, really enjoyed him. Starting to enjoy his character a lot more now. Starting to, like him a bit more. And yeah, I thought I thought he was great, so yeah. Lauren, I think it's Lauren, and she was good as well. I thought she did a really nice job. Definitely enjoyed her in this episode as well. I really like her character. I'm really enjoying her as well, so I thought she was good as well. Of course, the guy who plays Arthur, which is the other brother, really enjoyed him as well. He's pretty good, so yeah. So everyone is really good in this episode. I thought everybody did a really good job in this episode. So yeah. The action, when the action happens, really good. Especially there's this one scene in the episode where it's like this training type montage. Not montage, but training type thing. Where Lauren and, I don't remember his character's name, but Fez from that 70s show are like training and whatever. And I like that. That was really cool. I thought seeing that little training sequence was cool. I really enjoyed that. That was probably maybe one of my favorite moments from the episode. That was really cool in my opinion too, yeah. And then the one towards the end was really cool as well. The writing is good at parts for this episode. Good at parts for the episode, Thought it was good for some parts of the episode. I thought the directing was really good with the episode as well. I thought, the directing was really good with this episode. I really liked the directing with this episode. So yeah, the visuals look really good in this episode. Visuals, it's looking great. It's looking really good. The technology looks fantastic. I think they're doing a really good job with the visuals as well. So yeah, the visuals looked really good. So yeah. And let's talk about some of the moments in the episode, because there were a few cool moments in the episode. Dash is making new friends. In the beginning, I like this. He's like playing chess with everybody, and he's beating everybody because he's a precog, and he knows everything. So that was funny. I thought that was pretty funny, seeing him playing chess, and he's like beating everybody because he knows what they're going to do, as soon as possible. So yeah, I like seeing that. When they're about to find out who the killer is, like when Dash thinks that the killer is like going with the girl. Well, it was a different girl with a pair of shoes, and like he electrocutes. Not really electrocutes, it's like this vibrator thing where it makes you throw up. And that was funny because he thought that was the guy. I was just like, dude, really? And so yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. And when they're about to arrest the guy, they find out that's not the killer. They find out it's the bartender that's actually about to kill the woman. And, that was a nice little twist. I didn't really see that coming, so I'll give them props for that. I didn't really see that coming, so yeah. And then towards the end, when he goes back to play chess with the girl, that was cool. Dash, so yeah. There were some negatives I did have with this episode, and my negatives are some of the acting was kind of iffy. The guy that they thought was the killer just acted very cocky and just very overacted, and he was trying too hard to be a cocky guy. He was succeeding, but it was just really bad. It's kind of one of those things, but yeah, I just didn't really think he was good. The guy who you find out was really the killer, very over-the-top performance, very, very over-the-top. I thought he could have done a lot better, so yeah. Some of the writing's not the best in this episode. I thought some of the writing wasn't that great, so yeah. There were, like last week's episode, some effects that weren't really the best. I know this. There really wasn't some effects that weren't really that good. So yeah. But besides that, I still really enjoyed this episode. This episode was still a really enjoyable episode. So yeah. So it's time for my official grade on this week's episode, and my official grade on this week's episode is a B+. Just like last week's episode, really enjoyed this episode. So yeah, guys, really watch this show, please. It's not doing too well in ratings. I checked. It got like a 3 million viewers, like 3-point-something million viewers last week, and that's not good. And really, guys, please check this show out. Don't let it get canceled. I don't really want it to be canceled, so yeah, please check this show out. I really enjoyed this episode, so it's getting a B+. So what did you guys think of this week's episode? Leave in the comment section below. And I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you all later. Peace.